Hello everyone, myself Pooja Sharma. This is class 10, lesson 4, globalization and the Indian economy from economics. So in this chapter we will discuss about the trade, however we are doing trade throughout the world. So in recent years, market have been transformed in many ways. As consumer, we have now wide choice of goods and services before us. The latest model of digital cameras, mobile phones, and television sets made by the leading manufacturer of the world are within our reach. So every season, new models of automobiles can be seen on Indian road. Earlier, we can see only the Ambassador and Fate were the only cars on Indian roads. But today, India and Indians are buying car produced by nearby all the top companies in the world. A similar explosion of brands can be seen for many other goods from agricultural equipments to heavy vehicles, from processed fruit juice to shirts and various electronic goods. This is relatively recent phenomena. So in this chapter we will discuss this topic, that is introduction part of the chapter, then production and foreign trade, globalization and WTO, and the impact on India and fair globalization. So these topics we will discuss in this video. So we can see that how the production done across the country. That we can see that production were done through the throughout the country. Until the middle of 20th century, production was organized within countries, and that is with the help of MNCs. So what is MNCs? A multinational corporation is a company that owns and or control production in more than one nation. So this is the corporation which control all the things. So, how it produce? Some factors influence the location of production units, that is, availability of skilled and unskilled labor at cheap rates. So, wherever the MNCs set up offices and factories for production in region where they can get cheap labor and other resources. Distance to market, that they establish production where there is skill and unskilled labor, and uh, the production where it is close to the market, and availability of resources like water and electricity. So wherever they set up their production, they were set up production where the availability of other factors like water, electricity, and the government policies are favorable to them. So these factors are influence MNCs to set up their factories or companies. So how the production were done? The money spent on machines, building, and land is called investment. So whenever the MNCs set up their business, at that time they spend money also, and that's money was spent for machines, building, and land, and this is called investment. Investment made by MNCs is called foreign investment. Means whatsoever the money where that is taken by MNCs from the other countries, that is called foreign investment. At time, MNCs set up production unit jointly with some local companies also. What they are doing with the local companies? MNCs purchase the material or goods from the local company, and they will use their brand name to sell to the other countries. Now, what the benefits for the MNCs? One thing is there, that benefit to the local companies from the MNCs is new production methods were came, because MNCs not only sell and purchase the things, it also provide the raw material, technology, labor also, services also. So new production methods came through MNCs. And second thing is new technology, because MNCs provide new technology from the other country to the country. So at the times, MNCs place order for production with small producers, and the products are supplied to the MNCs, which is sold under MNC's brand name. That's why these things are sold at the high cost. MNCs purchase all the things at the low cost from the local companies, and they were using their brand name. That's why their cost will be increased. Foreign companies buy up local companies and expand their production with the help of MNCs, and they place order for production with small producers of other countries. They set up production jointly with some of the local companies. They closely compete with the local companies. Many of the top MNCs have enormous wealth, so these large MNCs have tremendous power to determine price, quality, delivery, and labor conditions for the distance producer. So here there is the two things comes in our mind, that what is the differentiate between the multinational company, means MNCs, and national companies. So in multinational companies, it owns or control production in more than one nation. But when we see the national company, it owns or controls production within the country only. Multinational companies set up offices and factories for production in regions where it can get cheap labor and other resources. But we can see there is no such option in national company. In multinational company, since the cost of production for an MNC is low, it can earn greater profit. But in national companies has no such scope to earn greater profits. Now next topic is foreign trade. So in the foreign trade, it creates an opportunity for the producers to reach beyond the domestic market. So here you can see that MNCs not only sell it finished product globally, but more important that goods and services are produced globally. So at that time in the foreign trade, we can see the role of MNCs also. The foreign trade provides opportunity for both producers and consumer to reach beyond market of their own country. There is a flow of goods, services, and finance across different countries. There is huge competition among producers of various countries. This brings producers closer to each other. Sometimes the producer of other countries set up joint venture with the local producers. Prices of similar goods in the two markets trend to become equal. So for example, you can see that earlier Ambassador and Fate were the only cars on Indian roads. But today we can see, due to the foreign trade, India's are buying cars produced by nearly all the top companies in the world. And we can see in our market they. Globalization and WTO. What is mean by globalization? That is, globalization is the process by which the whole world becomes a single market. So in the past 20 to 30 years, we can see that through the globalization, integration among the markets were done, foreign trade were done, and foreign investment were seen in the market. And thus in the process, we became economically interdependent at international level. Producers from outside the country can produce and sell goods and services in India. We can also produce goods and services and sell them in the countries. The labor can also move from one country to another country. we can get foreign investment from the other country also, and that's all happen because of the globalization. In globalization, something were done, that is liberalization. So what is that liberalization? Before we know that, globalization brings greater foreign investment and greater foreign trade through the MNCs. The result of greater foreign investment and greater foreign trade has been greater integration of production and markets across countries. All these create income and employment opportunities in the economy. As a result of globalization, more and more goods and services, investment, and technology are moving between countries. Most regions of the world are in closer contact with each other than a few decades back. Besides, people usually move from one country to another in search of better income, better jobs, or better education. As consumer, people have greater choice of production. They now enjoy improved quality and lower price for several products, and hence higher standard of living also. So globalization has created new opportunities for companies providing services, particularly those involving in the IT, in information technology. But these things are creating some problems also. So in the globalization, two things can be seen, that is, one, removing trade barriers set up by the government is called liberalization. So how it is done, that liberalization, what is liberalization? That when some restriction were removed, or removing trade barriers set up by the government is called liberalization. But how these barriers were removed? Before that, we will see one thing, that is trade barriers. Trade barriers is the restrictions on import and export imposed by the government to protect the interest of the producers within the country. Tax on import is an example of trade barrier. Tax on import is known as trade barrier because some restrictions are set up on trade of the product through the tax. The foreign product will be costly and its demands in the domestic market will automatically reduce. So Indian government imposed barriers to foreign trade and foreign investment. After independence, some reasons are there, that's why government imposed some barriers. The government considered it necessary to protect the producers within the country from foreign competition. Government used trade barrier to increase or decrease, regulate the foreign trade. This is to decide what kind of goods and how much of each should come to the country. Industries were just coming up in the 1950s and 1960s, and competition from import at the stage would not have allowed these industries to come up. But some liberalization of trade and investment policies helped the globalization process. How or why some developed countries want some liberalize their trade and investment? Because the developed country want developing countries to liberalize their trade and investment so that they could expand their business in developing countries through foreign trade and foreign investment by MNCs, so they could expand market for their products to earn more profit. The developing countries should demand for removing unfairly retained trade barriers by developed countries and for more economic aid. Developed countries should remove agricultural and other subsidies. Terms and conditions for trade should be fair. So, In that process, some liberalization were done by the government. So, removing barriers or restrictions set up by the government is what is known as liberalization. With liberalization of trade, businesses are allowed to make decisions freely about what they wish to import or export. The government imposes some less restrictions than before and is therefore said to be more liberal. Some factors that have enabled the process of globalization, that is the improvement in transportation. Has made possible much faster delivery of goods across long distance at lower cost. Second thing is that improvement in the information and communication technology. It has played a major role in spreading out production of services across countries. Telecommunications facilities are used to contact one another around the world, to access information instantly, and to communicate from remote areas. Third, that is the liberalization. Nations have removed many of the barriers to foreign trade and foreign investment, and thus promoted and facilitated globalization. Multilateral trade agreement. This is to promote foreign trade and free flow of investment. And last, that is the MNCs, because MNCs have increased foreign investment and foreign trade, which has led to great integration of production and market across countries and thereby globalization process. Now we will discuss the impact of on India and fear globalization. Before that, we will discuss WTO. What is the WTO? WTO stands for World Trade Organization. World Trade Organization World Trade Organization is a powerful international organization. It aims at liberalizing international trade. It establishes rules regarding international trade and ensures that these rules are obeyed. At present, 164 countries of the world are the member of the WTO. WTO is supposed to allow free trade for all countries, but in practice, it is found that the developed countries have unfairly retained trade barriers. So, there are some effects of WTO on India economy, because there have been an increase in income through liberalization of foreign trade. Reduction of trade barriers and in domestic subsidies raise the price of domestic agricultural product in international market. It has encouraged India to increase the export of textile and clothing. So that's why we can see there is some effects of WTO on India. Now we will discuss some impact of globalization in India. That is the first impact, that is of information. With the wide use of internet and other kinds of information technology, it has become much easier and faster to share information worldwide. In foreign trade, that the world has become a huge market where we can buy and sell things produced in any part of the world. It gives people more access to an even broader setup of products and services. Like example, McDonald products, Toyota cars, etc. In education, it also have an impact that there is a huge expansion in educational programs and courses. For example, development of engineering, education programs with quality of international standards. Standard of living also, that is globalization has improved the standard of living of people. It affects very aspects of an individual's life, including religion, food, transport, language, music, and clothing. We can see the impact of setting up of MNCs also. Globalization leads to new opportunities for MNCs. They have increased their investment in industries such as cell phones, automobiles, soft drinks, etc. That leads to creation of new jobs. So how does the raising competition affect the small Indian companies? We can see that there is a loss to the small producer. That foreign investment or the small scale producers had to face competition due to globalization. Small producers could not keep their cost of production low and hence lost market. They could not sell their commodities at competitive price and had to lessen production. Batteries, capacitors, plastics, toys, tires, dairy products, and vegetables oils are some example of industries where the small manufacturers have been hit hard due to competition. Several of the units have shut down, rendering many workers jobless. Regarding workers, as a result of closure of many small scale industries, many workers lost their jobs. They now work on temporary basis. Their jobs are no longer secure. They have to put in very long working hours. Their wages are low. They are denied their fair share of benefits. So these are some competition which affects the small Indian companies. Step of fair globalization. So what steps are taken by the government for the fair globalization? For the fair globalization, some steps. Government policies must protect the interest not only of the rich and the powerful but all the people in the country. The government can ensure that labor law are properly implemented and the workers get their rights. It can support small producers to improve their performance till the time they became strong enough to compete. If necessary, the government can use trade and investment barriers. It can negotiate at the WTO for fairer rules. It can also ally with other developing countries with similarly interest to fight against the domination of developed countries in the WTO. So, there is a need to make globalization fair. Yes, this is an urgent need to make globalization fair for the some reason, because globalization has benefited only well-off consumers and also produce with skill, education and wealth. This has failed to eliminate poverty and bring economic equality. The rich have become more rich and the population of poor is still on increase. So it has led to insecurity of job. So how is free and fair trade increases for the promotion of economic welfare activities? Only free and fair trade would create opportunities for all. It would ensure that the benefits of globalization are shared better. While globalization has benefited well of consumers and also producers with skill, education and wealth, many small producers and workers have suffered as a result of the rising competition in the way. There are many people who have not shared the benefits of trade. However, free and fair trade would ensure the benefits for those segment of society also. So that's why we can see that proper implementation of the labor law should be imposed, financial support to small producers and negotiation with the WTO. I hope All the terms are cleared. Our chapter is completed. Thank you.